I think once I'm sentenced is when I'll probably start like actually working out. I was going to work out for the fight that I was going to do in Vegas, but the other guy backed out. So
who are you going to fight?
Oh, Aaron.
Wait,
that'd
what?
Have been so fun to watch.
So
that would have been amazing.
I'm going to. I have to. People told me I sound whiny and high pitched now, and I realized, oh shit, I haven't broadcast in like a year, so I don't think about anything.
Your volume's anymore. a little too high. You're like.
Yeah. I forget that. I'm also on the earbud things because my computer is still restarting. I think it's trying to update to Windows 11, which is a disaster. So anyway, no, Patrick Melton invited me to Hackamania in Vegas. It's Mother's Day weekend, so I can only go like the first, like Thursday, Friday. I can't go the whole time. And I said, well, sure, I'll go. That'll be funny. And then he ended up inviting Aaron to come out and do like just a little like, the normal stuff. And Aaron's like, well, no, I'm not going to go to your show, but I'll fight 5 people in the same day, all in a row, like George Foreman did in the 70s. And I was like, you're not Lou Gossett Jr. or George Foreman. This is a just terrible idea. But he said, as long as one of them is Nick Rekieta, I'll fight 5 people in a row. He'll box them. I was like, well, I don't know boxing, but I know that this is stupid, so I'll definitely do this. Yes, 100%.
He would literally lose all 5. That's insane.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not a boxer. I don't know how to fight, but like neither does he. I've watched him try. And so it's like I can get in a ring with this guy. That's not going to be a problem. Like he's slow and he doesn't punch hard, so that'll be okay. I don't I don't brag about fighting because I didn't fight. Like I didn't go do any. I did martial arts for years and years and years. All different kinds of martial arts, from taekwondo to jiu-jitsu to judo, kung fu, 2 different types of karate. I did sword fighting. Like I did all that stuff. And that's fine. That's not fighting, right? Like I don't say anything. But I also did MMA, and my MMA partner was Drexel. And so I've sparred, I don't know, hundreds of times for long sessions of sparring, hot, sweaty, gripping sparring with Drexel. So I would spar with Drex. I'd spar with his brother. We had a friend who was a black belt in karate, and he was high ranked in Muay Thai. And we would fight each other all the time. It's not the same as like getting in a boxing ring with boxing gloves. Way different thing. But I'm like, well, I could train for this. Like, it wouldn't take that much time. I know, Sazia, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know how exhausting 3 minutes of punching is, and it's like I couldn't do it today, but I could do it by May. Enough to fight Aaron and make it funny. I mean, I don't plan to win against someone whose hobby is boxing, but I've also seen him box. He trains like one day a week. Like, okay, I think I can get up to that level pretty easily. So, and then it'd be a great show.
Oh, my question to Nick. So why did Aaron back out of this thing? I feel like this would be great.
It was the weirdest thing. He says, I'll fight 5 guys. And I think what he thought was there was no way I was coming to Vegas because he thinks that I'm going to get sentenced and be unable to travel. But that's only because he's retarded. When you get sentenced for a crime, they let you travel if you have a good reason. I have a strong history of travel for business. This is a business show that I have been invited to by the show host as a paid guest. I don't know if I could go the full time. And I think he thought, well, there's no way they'll let him go because we have to drug and alcohol test him and it's Vegas. And well, Vegas doesn't have more drugs and alcohol than any other city. People just talk about it more. You can get them anywhere. And believe it or not, they have drug testing clinics in Vegas. So if I was going to stay like 3 or 4 days, I could test there if they really, really wanted me to. It's not a huge deal, but it'd be retarded to go to Vegas and do a bunch of drugs in front of people in public if you're publicly on probation. So that was a weird thought that he had, but he just thought there was no way I would do it. And I was like, well, I'll do it. Sure, of course. And then everybody like Carl from Who Are These Podcasts and Patrick Melton. And then he had to get like 2 more people. And there's a ton of people who volunteered. Like, well, we'll all do it. And he's like, well, okay, now you got to get your USA boxing licensure. And it's like, well, that's literally filling out a form. We'll all do that too. So then he's like, Well, they all backed out. It was like, we said yes to everything you said. And he's like, no, they all backed out and they're not going to do it. But, that's too bad. That's how they are. It was like, what the hell just happened? You made your own reality. That was, I know you do that, but that was really weird to watch in real time because everybody was, we just said, okay. I just want to eat like 12 powdered sugar donuts before I go in there. So I have a nice white frosting on my mustache. But no, I thought it would be funny to do it. And then the other thing I thought was he would try and carry it on up until Vegas. And then I thought he would back out and try to make us all look dumb and just not show up. But I was like, okay, well, that's an excuse to work out. But then he basically said, well, he's not going to do it now because we're not. It's like, but we would do it. But then he got himself suspended. The funniest part of all this is he got himself suspended because everybody called out that he claims to be a boxing coach for years, but he wasn't licensed to do so. And so then he went to prove everybody wrong and he got licensed as a coach, which is just filling out a form. And you have to do this one training class, which I'm sure he did at some point. But the funny thing is when you pay the fee, they do a background check on you. And he found out he's been charged with revenge porn and he violated a restraining order, was convicted for that. And they're like, okay, your license is now suspended. So he got licensed only to get it suspended. But there's a bunch of time to talk about my stupid life. Like we don't have to do that right now.
I just thought, I don't know. Whenever I'll selectively, randomly be scrolling and I'll just see like a clip of Aaron talking. And it's not, and it's the stuff that he says. It's not even like the clip's not even the focus. Like it's something he'll say that's not even about the clip that they clipped it. Not even the reason they clipped it. And he'll just say the craziest shit. He'll be like, "Yeah, dude, like this insert the most popular radio shock jock of all time," and he'll be talking about this person. And he'll be like, "Yeah, as as a professional radio DJ, like I totally know what they're going through." And I'm like, "Dude, shut the up. You are literally 40 people watch you on YouTube, and you literally just say, 'Give me money, please.' Like the entire show, please give me money, please give me what the f- you talking about?" And then he's like, "Yeah, dude, as like I totally know what Mike Tyson was going through in the 90s. As a professional fighter, I know." And the thing is, he's being 100% serious. Like he's not controlling.
Yeah. Oh no, he's
insane.
When he so the example you're giving is he did have a radio show in the St. Cloud market of Minnesota, which in Minnesota is like it's probably like the third biggest metro area. You got the Twin Cities, and you have Duluth, and you have St. Cloud. It's about 150,000 people in the metro area, which is not big in many states, but out here it's pretty good size. But the radio market still is tiny in that area. But he had a show that was somewhere, like he claims it was the top show in the market. It's like, okay, even if you were, you have no idea what Howard Stern's contracting with SiriusXM is. Like you don't know what those contract negotiations entailed. You make less than the dying drunken dwarf does for showing up once a week. You make less than the women they put on a Sibian one time on the show annually, and you're trying to talk about what these guys do. You have no concept of the scope of this. And it's the same. He would talk to me about YouTube business, and it's like, oh buddy. And I hate talking about this aspect of it. It's like, because I didn't know I was doing this, I didn't do it with a super plan. But it's like I made his annual income every month and a half to 2 months. It's like you have no idea what social media is or what social media growth is. You have a 13,000 sub channel, which is great. I almost have as many Instagram followers, and I got busted for cocaine, and my kids were taken away. That's embarrassing for you. How have you not? You don't know anything about the social media aspect or the business aspect of this stuff just because you do it. There are tiers of success. It'd be like me talking about Mr. Beast. I have no idea what that guy does for everything. They're just scales of where you should be. But he talks as if he's at the top of every industry he's ever looked at.